إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستغفره ونستعين به ونستنصره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن سيدنا ونبينا محمدا صلى الله عليه وسلم أدى الأمانة وبلغ الرسالة ونصح الأمة فجزاك الله عنا خيرا يا سيدي يا رسول الله. I here testify there is no one deserves to be worshipped but Allah Azza wa Jal. I also testify that Muhammad is his slave, messenger and a mercy for the creation. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As a continuation to our khutbah of last week about the sacred month of Muharram, which is the first month of the Islamic calendar. Definitely the hijrah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the start of the Islamic calendar, as Sayyidina Umar ibn al-Khattab consulted with his companions, as we mentioned in the last khutbah. And talking about the hijrah itself, as a meaning, it is migrating from one place to another, or actually it is leaving something forever, like hijran al-khamr, that you leave drinking liquor wal-iyadu billah forever. This is hijrah. And the hijrah, the migration, moving from one place to another, it looks like it's a rule that Allah Azza wa Jal has set for all His messengers. That means most of His messengers had to leave their town. They have started the da'wah from and leave to somewhere else. And this hijrah could be migration, that means establishing the Islamic society in another place, or could be saving the Muslim society from a harm or hardship they are living in. Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam, he stayed with his people 950 years. And he was asking them for Islam, believing in Allah Azza wa Jal, the One. And they denied his call, and they did not, and rejected his da'wah. Till the orders from Allah Azza wa Jal came. Allah Azza wa Jal says in Surah Hud, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وأوحي إلى نوح سيدنا نوح وأوحي إلى نوح أنه لن يؤمن من قومك إلا من قد آمن فلا تبتئس بما كانوا يفعلون. So Allah Azza wa Jal sent Jibreel alayhi salam to Sayyidina Nuh, and he told him, look, this is it. No more people will be believing in you anymore, so don't feel bad about it. Then Allah Azza wa Jal instructed Sayyidina Jibreel to teach Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam how to build the ark, how to put the ship. So he would take his people, the believers from his people, and leave the disbelievers behind, because the punishment of Allah is coming. In Surah Hud, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, حَتَّى إِذَا جَاءَ أَمْرُنَا, when our orders have ordained on those people, وَصَارَتْ النُّورِ, and the earth started gushing with the water, قُلْ نَحْمِلْ فِيهَا مِنْ كُلِّ زَوْجَيْنِ اثْنَيْنِ, carry on that ship a pair of every living thing, وَأَهْلَكَ إِلَّا مَنْ سَبَقَ عَلَيْهِمْ الْقَوْلِ, and your family except those who said that they will not be among the believers. And you know his son was of those disbelievers. وَمَنْ آمَنَ, and those believers with you, وَمَا آمَنَ مَعَهُ إِلَّا قَلِيلٌ, and only few people they jumped on him. So this ship now is, with the flood coming, floated and started sailing. تجري بهم في موج كالجبال. The waves were so high, it's like mountains. Then Allah Azza wa Jalla landed that ship on a place, it's Al-Judi. قِيلَ يَا نُوحُ اهْبِطْ بِسَلَامٍ مِنَّا وَبَرَكَاتٍ عَلَيْكَ. So after that, Allah Azza wa Jalla, after the punishment has come to the whole disbeliever society, now the believers and whatever Nuh was able to put on that ship, they landed, and Allah Azza wa Jal said, now you can live, we will give you prosperity for a while, then if you go astray, we will punish you again. That's Sayyidina Nuh alayhi salam. Sayyidina Ibrahim, when he started his da'wah in Iraq, and then he had migration to Palestine and Egypt and Hijaz. And this was ordained by Allah Azza wa Jal. All these hijras came orders from Allah Azza wa Jal, from Sayyidina Nuh to Sayyidina Ibrahim. When Sayyidina Ibrahim was put into the fire, Allah Azza wa Jal ordered the fire to be cool on him and not to harm him. Then Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَنَجَّيْنَاهُ وَلُوطًا إِلَى الْأَرْضِ الَّتِي بَارَكْنَا فِيهَا لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We took Sayyidina Ibrahim and his cousin Sayyidina Lut to the land that Allah Azza wa Jal التي باركنا فيها للعالمين. May Allah return this land to the Muslims. This is to Palestine. Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam also did migrate during his da'wah time, even before his da'wah time, when he accidentally killed one of those Egyptians, and they were after him, so he went to Madian, remember, and he served as a shepherd for 10 years. Then he came back, got the da'wah from Allah Azza wa Jal, and definitely they were under severe oppression, him and the Jews in Egypt. So Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَلَقَدْ أَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى مُوسَى أَنْ أَسْرِ بِعِبَادِي. So you take the Jewish people and you cross the sea going into to the east. So Allah Azza wa Jal had those people pass safely the sea, as we mentioned in the last khutbah. This happened in Ashura when the sea split open to the people of Bani Israel, and when the Pharaoh followed them, the sea slammed on them and they were drowned. So definitely this is another hijrah that Sayyidina Musa alayhi salam, when he migrated from Egypt to the Palestine. Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he spent 13 years in Mecca doing da'wah, and he was faced with all types of oppression and pressure and hatred, and he was doing everything with wisdom and ease. However, those people of Quraysh, they did not like that. They thought this Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is coming to take the authority from them, to take the honor from them, and leave them equally treated with their servants. So they did not like that, and they had put lots of pressure on him. We know the type of torture they faced in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam during his years in Mecca. And the torture wasn't only for him, it was also for the people around him. And we know the stories of Sumayya and other the people of the Muslims. They were actually punished and tortured, and some of them were martyred for the sake of Allah Azza wa Jal. So the time has come after 13 years to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to do a migration, to leave Mecca. This is the land that he loved the most, and to go towards Medina. And this is a destiny for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and he knew about it since he was young. And remember the story when he was going with a trip to Damascus with his uncle or grandfather, and Waraq ibn Nawfal told him, لَيْسَنِي أَكُونُ مَعَكَ يَوْمَ يُخْرِجُكَ قَوْمُكَ. I wish I am with you the day when your people actually expel you from the land of Mecca. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, أَوْ مُخْرِجِيَهُمْ. He said, are they really going to kick me out of Mecca? ورقة بن نوفل said, ما جاء رسول بمثل الذي جئت به إلا أوذي وأخرج. Every messenger before you that came with the same message, he was put under harm, and he was actually expelled from his time. So the Prophet ﷺ knew all the time that a time will come when he leaves Mecca and goes somewhere else. Now, before migrating to Al-Madinah, there were many hijras, we call it small hijras, that happened. The first one was to Al-Habasha, when 10 men and 5 women, actually, they took the ship. One of them was Uthman ibn Affan and his wife Ruqayya, the daughter of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they went to Al-Habasha, which is Ethiopia right now, and they stayed there for about 3 months. Then they came back when they felt, or the news came that the Qurayshi people are becoming more moderate and they can live again. But however, this did not happen, so there was another migration to Al-Habasha, and this is the Prophet ﷺ told them there is a just king in Al-Habasha, and I hope that he will treat you justly. And there was about some 80 some people, they migrated to Al-Habasha. Then there was his trial to go to Al-Taif. Al-Taif is a town about southeast of Mecca, and he was, and this is captured by the tribe of Thaqif. And the Prophet ﷺ tried to go there and get their support, and they kicked him out, and he was actually tortured. And at that time, we know the famous story when Sayyidina Jibreel alayhi salam came to him and he said, if you want me, I will slam the mountains on them. And the Prophet ﷺ said, don't do that. I am hoping that some believers will come out of their descent. So from that, the Prophet ﷺ was looking for a place that he can go to. And this place, of course, with guidance from Allah Azza wa Jal and inspiration, he was taken the Hajj season, when the people come from all over the peninsula to go to do Hajj. And the Hajj was established even before Islam. It was at the time of Sayyidina Ibrahim alayhi salam. So when the people come to Hajj from Medina, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam used to sit with them and talk to those pilgrims about the new religion, which is the Islam. And the people of Medina, they liked what the Prophet ﷺ is saying. And the Medina wasn't named Medina at that time. It was called Yathrib, then called Al-Madina after the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ migrated to that, and it's called Al-Madina Al-Munawwara with his arrival to the Medina. So there were Bay'at al-Aqaba al-Ula, then Bay'at al-Aqaba al-Thaniya. These are 2 bay'at in the years of 11 and 12 lil-Hijrah, when the Prophet ﷺ met those people and he was discussing with them how we can actually, you become Muslims and I will, you support me. And they, in Bay'at al-Aqaba al-Thaniya, they acknowledged that they will support him and they will defend him, even with the sword, if something happens to him. And also, in return, they asked, what is it for us in it, O Prophet of Allah? He said, definitely you will get Jannah. And the reason of the interest of the people of Medina in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this is the hikmah of Allah Azza wa Jal, that the people of Medina, they have neighbored the Jews in the Medina, and we know there are few tribes of Jews in Medina, and those Jews, every time they fight with the Arabs, they tell them there will be a prophet coming, and we will be his supporters, and we will fight you with him, and we will defeat you. So this is what they were telling the Arabs. So when the people of Yathrib, which is Al-Aws and Al-Khazraj, used to come to do Hajj, and they heard about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they started listening to him, they thought, okay, this is the Prophet actually the Jews were talking about, and it's better for us to follow him rather than the Jews follow him and defeat us. So see, this is the hikmah of Allah Azza wa Jal. So from the enemy,